I will be going over how you can edit your existing website. This will be demonstrated with how to log in to your WordPress site, how to get to each page, and edit the content using Elementor. And then I'll be demonstrating how to update your themes, plugins, and WordPress itself, if there's any updates available. So to start off, we're going to go to the site, which is stmartinsheritage.org. And then after this, we're going to do /WP admin. This will take us to the page where you're going to insert your username and password, which I have provided in a document that will be provided. From here, I'll be pointing out some of the key aspects that you will be using when editing your WordPress site. This won't involve any design changes, let's say, but to start off, every time you come in, you should check for your updates for your plugins, WordPress, themes, and then where most of the editing will be done will be in the pages. But one that I'll have to go over, it's not one that's going to be utilized most frequently, and that's going to be the Customize tab. So let's jump into going over how to edit the pages. I'm only going to present a couple because most of the pages are the same for editing wise. So let's start off with the main one, which is home. Alright, so on here you have the hero image where we got our call to action and our button, and then our sections, and then our Facebook button. These are going to be the ones that are going to be updated most likely in the future. Alright, so to start off with, we're going to go over how to edit your hero image. That will be once you click on this section up here, and then this will be your content with your column gaps, your height, and the current position, which right now it's at the bottom. And then for the style, that's where you'll find the background, which is the hero image, and you'll just click on it to edit it, which you'll select one from here, and then it's centered, and then the background is fixed so it gives off a parallax effect. See? Alright. So let's move on to the call to action. Here you'll just click on, you can either edit it straight from right here, or you can click in here to edit it. But we had some breaker tags, so then it would drop down, so it's just right here. And then this is the HTML tag for this is an H3 and the size is large. So you'll have different sizes for each heading. And then the style for this is I set it to Poppins at 45, and then I had the padding for 20. This is where you'll add to modify the text for how much padding is above and below, to the right and left, but right now it's just above it. Alright, now the button. We have a link right here that is for the park page. And then this is the text that shows up in the button. And right now it's at a small, and you can add icons to it later if you wanted to. And then here's where you would edit the background color, and then for the hover background color. And then here you have different animations for when you hover over the button. And then here's where the border radius has been set. As you can see, it's not fully square. And then the padding that is around the lettering in between the edge of the button and the wording in the middle. And for here, it's Poppins, also for the font for no more, but the weight is 500, so it's a little bit thinner. And then there is nothing done over here for that. Alright, I'll just go over one of these sections because essentially they're all the same, but all that is done is you grab here and move it to the other side to make it go back and forth down the page. So for the heading here, it's an H3 with the default size. This is where you'll edit your text that's in there, and where you can add a URL later on if you want to. Right here I have, for this text color goes throughout the whole page for the headings for the sections. And then I have this also set at Poppins, but at 25 for the size. For the body, you'll edit it in here, or for what I'll show later on is located in, can also be done in the text view. But then you have your different sizes here. And then this is set the Laura at 15 for size. The text color wasn't changed. This is what is on this WordPress theme. Followed by I didn't modify any of the padding or anything. I just, in this section, ended up making it stretch, still with the boxed width, but I made the column gap wider so it gave more of a spacing between them. And then for down for the green part, where it's also a link, this links to the membership form for 2019. This will just be edited if you want to update your membership form. You'll end up putting it in, and then for the new one, here's where you'll update your text. And for the green parts, they're set to H4. But the title you can switch here. I put this at the green text, that's the other part of the logo. Typography here is set to Poppins like any of the other headings because it is a heading section. So I kept the style the way it is, but I put the size in between the main heading and the body, so it's set at 20 pixels. And then for your Facebook, if you ever change it, you just click on the button, open it up, and you can change your Facebook settings or change what it's for, change the shape, but we'll leave it at circle right now. This is where you could customize the colors that you want, but we'll leave them at official right now. The hover effects, which I have it set to grow, so you can tell that you're on it. And then I did put it to -35, so it sat right halfway between the white and black at the bottom. Alright, so let's move away from the home page. For the next section, which will cover the other two, we'll be going to the events page, because the rest of the site's pages besides events, and I believe contact won't have to be covered because it'll be the same as the home page. And then here's where I brought up about we'll be going over the text section, because we have 3 links in the content body for this section, which you can do with anchor tags with an href, the URL for it, which then you can put the lettering in between the 2 A brackets. Or on the visual, which I suspect will be easier, you just highlight it, go up here to the insert link or edit link, put your link in here, and then apply. But let's leave that at that. So that will go, while I'm at it, for the telephone, here you'll put, even in the visual, which I'll do it here, you'll put tel : and then the number, starting with 1 and the area code. And then let's go to the newsletter, because that one will be updated regularly. You will go to the content here, and then you'll just go after, type in the next season that you'll want, highlight it, and insert link, just like I presented before. And then when you switch to a new year, you just unclick bullet list, put in the year, and then hit bullet list again. That's all that'll have to be done with the newsletters. And then when you want to add another 3 years onto it, you just hit add item, and then you'd move that above, just like so. There. And then we will move on to the next page, which might be, alright, so we got that. See, here's another inside, which, what I forgot to mention before is making it bold, or in case if you write out the code, it's strong followed by a closing strong with the anchor tags in between, but you want to make sure they're bold. And then these are just like the previous ones. And then for the email one, you'll want to, like I said before, with the strong and then the anchor tags and then the href URL, or with the visual, just highlighting it, and then you'll do mail to, all one word, and then followed by your email address. Alright, let's move on to contact. Alright, for on the contact, same with the member up here. All the hero images and the call to actions are the same. And then you have the same thing here with your mail to, and then your tel. And this is all done with an H3 heading that's set to the 25 in the pop-ins with the same color. And then these are just paragraph tags that are still Laura and 15. But for here, for the map, this is how you'll zoom it in, and then how to change the height, just like so. If you want it to be taller, shorter, and then also what I forgot to mention on this one is I did vertical alignment. That's after clicking on the column section itself. And I did this at middle. You can do it at bottom, top, space in between, etc. I didn't modify any of the borders or the typography. Nothing else for the margins and padding. But I'll go over that on the back on the home page in case if it wants to be edited down the line, so then it can be done correctly. Alright, let's say for here, for the margin, you see where the box is right here. That's the box of what is this essentially tag, so the H3 tag. The margin is the distance from that border to the next border here. And then for your padding, it's what's inside of this to move it that way. So in case if you had a border around these, you could pull the text in while keeping this at the same position. Or if you wanted the stuff to move down, you could do the margin above. That goes to the same for this, the images, etc. And then this you won't have to worry about, but these are to view your site in other responsive views. Let's move on to the next section. Next is, it won't have to be done unless your logo changes and you need to update your favicon up at the top plus your logo here. You'll simply go into Site ID. You'll change the logo here, that's for the primary one. And then when you move it down to the partial transparent, that'll be the reverse transparent logo, which you'll change the file for. And then for your site icon or favicon, whatever you want to call it, you'll change the image here, but you'll just want to keep just the logo. It won't be able to hold all the wording or anything. And one last one is still under the appearance, just like the customize, but below that in the menus, you go here in case if you want to add another link or page or etc. It'll pop up in here if you add a new page. You'll click that one and hit add menu. And then once it pops down, this will make it a secondary item, a sub item of this page. But having it like this will keep it its own section on the nav bar. But you can move them to whichever spot you want in the lineup. This is starting from left and this is the far right. So it goes across this way with home, park, join us, events, calendar, and contact. So this is only done if you want to add new pages, which I would recommend keeping with the styles that I went over before. And then here is where you'll locate new plugins. Here's the SEO, which I'll cover in a second. I have an add-in for contact form if ever a form wants to be made where it'll be sent to your email. you will just go to the settings, contact form, and this one you have to do out some code, which most likely won't have to be done. And then here you can add a new one if you want to, but let's not do that. Alright, for the SEO, which is going to be your most important for having your search engines be able to find you faster and recommend more. Let's not do it with Elementor. For the SEO, you'll want to click on the name instead of edit with Elementor. You'll click on that, and then just down below you'll have your Yoast SEO, and then you'll have your readability analysis, focus key phrases. You can add new key phrases if you go premium. But here's where you'll have your readability, which is your transition words, Fletch reading ease, the easeability of reading it, and then your passive voice, which those might have to be updated. It would involve editing the text per page to get it to be more easily read, kind of like the events page. It's a little better standing, but having less repetitiveness and keywords involved, and having the structure of the paragraphs be more fluent and smooth, transitioning better from one sentence to the other. And then if you have any questions, you can contact me at my email or text, and I'll walk you through it if there's anything you're confused on.